Guys, stop trusting Zillow or the listing agent when buying in Studio City. You're missing the bigger picture. If you're relocating to Studio City, you need a real strategy. In this video, I'm breaking down the 5 best neighborhoods in Studio City. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna share my secrets on how to find the good homes before they come to market. You're gonna wanna hear this, so make sure you watch to the end. I'm Alan Taylor with Compass, and I've been helping homeowners in Studio City, Sherman Oaks, and and around the San Fernando Valley for over 20 years. So let's get going. Before I get into my top 5 neighborhoods, let me give you a quick case for why moving to Studio City is a decision that makes serious strategic sense right now. First is the location. Studio City sits right up against the Santa Monica Mountains, which means you have Laurel Canyon, Coldwater Canyon, and the Cahuenga Pass literally at your back door. Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, and Hollywood proper are 15 to 20 minutes away on a normal day. And that's a commute profile that most Valley cities can't match. Second, the entertainment industry infrastructure. CBS Studio Center is right here. Universal, Warner Brothers, Disney are all within a very short drive, and it's not accidental. Studio City has been home base for executives, writers, directors, and producers for decades. The people living in Studio City, Los Angeles, they tend to want serious luxury, but without the look at me energy of the West Side. It's a specific kind of buyer, and it creates a very specific kind of market. And third is the lifestyle. Ventura Boulevard Sushi Row is one of the best restaurant corridors in all of Los Angeles. Sunday Farmers Market draws thousands of people every week. And the shops at Sportsman's Lodge with Irwan, Fred Siegel, a cluster of high wellness and dining concepts has completely transformed the cultural center of this neighborhood over the last few years. And fourth is inventory. There's almost no new land to develop here, especially south of the boulevard. And that supply constraint is a major reason why Studio City home prices have held a premium baseline of $2 million to $2.5 million plus in the flat streets, with the hills scaling significantly higher. It's a market built on scarcity, and that protects values over time. All right, without foundation set, let's talk about the 5 best neighborhoods and then my secrets for finding the perfect home. And I'm gonna count down from 5 to 1, saving the most expensive for last. All right, so coming in at number 5 is Wrightwood Estates. It's mid-century prestige tucked into the hillside south of Ventura Boulevard off Vineland and Ventura. And unlike most streets in Studio City, south of the boulevard, the streets here are wider and they wind through the hills, and a lot of the properties in this location open up to panoramic views of the valley without feeling dangerously steep the way some canyon streets do. It's polished, it's quiet, and architecturally, it's genuinely one of the more compelling pockets in all of Los Angeles. When people ask me, where to live in Studio City, and they lead with the words like, I'm looking for mid-century modern or post and beam, I take them directly to Wrightwood Estates because this is a location where authentic architectural pedigree lives. You've got real mid-century masterpieces, both post and beam, and pedigree homes alongside high-end contemporary renovations that honor the bones of what was already there. And in terms of Studio City home prices, Wrightwood generally tracks between 2.2 and 4.5 million plus. And where you land in that range depends almost entirely on 2 things: the view, the architectural pedigree of the home, and of course the size. So a clean mid-century with city light views is going to push towards the top of that price range, while a nice, well-maintained hillside home without the view sits closer to the entry point. Here's the strategic insight I share with every West Side buyer I work with. So moving to Studio City, cross the hill and your money goes dramatically further. We're talking about buyers coming from West Hollywood or Beverly Hills who can realize that they can get more square footage, a private pool, serious mid-century architecture, a canyon setting for a fraction of what the same profile would cost on the West Side. And they still have got Laurel Canyon and the Cahuenga Pass for, an easy commute to that side of the hill. And that calculation is driving real demand to Wrightwood, and it's not slowing down. The one honest trade-off here is that this is a hillside community. You're not walking to dinner. Daily errands require a car, and that's just the nature of the location. But for buyers who want, peaceful, design-forward retreat with serious valley views and real architectural character, Wrightwood Estates is absolutely a top-tier option for living in Studio City, Los Angeles. Guys, make sure to subscribe to our channel if you want an inside look at some of the best homes in Studio City. All right, coming in at number 4 is Footbridge. And this pocket sits just north of Ventura Boulevard, south of Moore Park, between Whitsett and Laurel Canyon. And when people ask me, which neighborhoods in Studio City are a good place to live, Footbridge is one of the first neighborhoods that comes to my mind. It has a classic tight-knit suburban neighborhood feel that's genuinely rare in Los Angeles, where I would say neighbors actually know each other and well, right? There's kids on the sidewalks and in the streets, and it has blocks where, most of the people, when they drive by, they wave because you know them. And that's not something you find everywhere in the city. The architecture in Footbridge has changed drastically over the past 10 years. It still includes a mix of original and updated mid-century ranch homes like elegant Cape Cod and Mediterranean homes built in the 90s and early 2000s, but new construction modern farmhouses have taken over. The streets feel clean. There's mature trees. People, most part, manicure their landscaping. It just looks and feels the way you'd imagine California's suburban living when planning to move to Studio City from another state. Home prices in this pocket run between $1.8 and $4 million, which actually represents solid relative value to some of the other flat pockets that I'm going to get into. The demand is strong for Footbridge, but the combination of family-friendly lifestyle and genuinely walkable location keeps a steady pool of buyers competing here. And that's the lifestyle detail that makes this pocket distinctive. There's a pedestrian footbridge that connects this neighborhood, most people don't know about, directly over the LA River to Ventura Boulevard. And what that means practically is you can walk out your front door, be sitting at dinner on Ventura Boulevard in under 10 minutes without ever getting in the car, without ever dealing with traffic. And that's a quality of life feature that sounds small on paper, but changes your daily experience significantly. It's one of the best neighborhoods in Studio City stories that I tell, and buyers always react to it. But here's the bigger story for anyone seriously researching where to live in Studio City right now. This pocket sits directly adjacent to the brand new Harvard Westlake River Park development, which is set to officially open later this year. Harvard Westlake put $200 million into transforming the old 16-acre Weddington Golf and Tennis site into a world-class athletic and community park. We're talking 6 acres of public parkland, 3/4-mile walking trail connecting to the LA River Greenway, community access to tennis courts, and a pool. Think about what that means for the immediate surrounding homes, right? You're getting a $200 million state-of-the-art community asset as your extended backyard. And that kind of infrastructure investment doesn't just improve the neighborhood, it locks it in and it drives property values for decades. And buyers who get into this pocket in 2026, before that park's fully operational and before the broader market has fully priced it in, may be making a very intelligent long-term play. So make sure you watch my Harvard Westlake River Park video where I break down exactly how this $200 million infrastructure investment is going to drive local property values for decades to come. All right, let's get into number 3. All right, guys, so coming in at number 3, the Silver Triangle is one of those pockets that people who live there would rather you didn't know about it. And it's called the Triangle because if you look on a map, you'll see that it looks like a triangle. And as for silver, gold must have already been taken because when it comes to location, this pocket is 24 karat. It's tucked south of the boulevard, bordered roughly by Laurel Canyon and Whitsett, and it has this hip, affluent, intensely neighborhood-proud energy that's unlike anything else in Studio City. People here are fiercely loyal to this specific area, and I mean that literally. I've had clients who looked all over the valley and came back here because nothing, quite felt the same. The architecture runs from character-rich Spanish revivals to updated mid-century ranches to some really sleek, modern, small lot new constructions. It's visually dynamic and it holds its identity well. And here's why the Silver Triangle ranks as one of the best neighborhoods in Studio City. It's for its walkability. You're south of the boulevard, which means you get, the prestige and the quiet that comes with that positioning, but you can also walk to all the hip shops and restaurants between Whitsett and Laurel Canyon. You got Studio City Farmers Market and Little Ventura, which has Jones on 3rd, Great White, a new restaurant, and around the corner is Fryman Hiking Trail. You don't need to fight for parking or sit in traffic to access it, you just walk there. And that combination of residential quiet and elite walkable amenity is genuinely hard to find in the city. And it's one of the biggest reasons why Silver Triangle has the loyal following that it does. Home prices here in Studio City for the Triangle run from $2 million up to as much as $4 million, depending on the size, the renovation level, and the specific street. And because of how tight-knit this community is, a meaningful number of homes here trade off market. Pocket listings that never hit Zillow or the MLS sold between neighbors or agents and their friends before the general public ever knew they were available. And that's a real thing in this pocket. And it's a real advantage for buyers and sellers who have the right relationships. Let's get into number 2. All right, Colfax Meadows is what most insiders in this market call the crown jewel of Studio City, and it earns that title. Picture massive tree canopies over the street, wide roads, 16,000 square foot minimum estate size lots, and this is the detail that makes it feel genuinely different from every other flat neighborhood in the valley. No traditional sidewalks, larger lots. It's like storybook version of a California neighborhood that's not by accident. And when clients are moving to Studio City and they want the absolute best flat streets have to offer, spacious lot sizes, this is where that conversation ends. Architecturally, you've got sprawling mid-century ranches if they've not yet been torn down, sprinkled in between massive Cape Cods, luxury new construction, and ultra-modern farmhouses that would look at a home at any architectural publication. Quick piece of local knowledge that I always share with clients here, Colfax Meadows has been used as a filming location in dozens of major TV shows and movies over the decades. The neighborhood looks so perfect. It's so quintessentially American suburb that production companies have repeatedly used these streets as a backdrop. And it got to the point where the LA City Council had to implement special filming regulations working with Film LA to protect residents from the constant disruption of production trucks. And that's how beautiful this neighborhood is. And if you're shopping in Colfax Meadows, you know, this is a bonus. Carpenter Community Charter is one of the most coveted elementary schools in the entire San Fernando Valley, if not all of Los Angeles. And families routinely pay a premium to live here, specifically within that boundary. And that's not an exaggeration. That premium is real and it's measurable in the data, but here's the warning. The boundary line cuts off sharply at Tahunga, which means missing the line by a single block puts a buyer into a completely different school zone. And it even got so crazy that for a while, even if you bought in the Carpenter Zone, you weren't guaranteed a spot because families were doing all sorts of things like grabbing P.O. boxes, buying condos and renting them, or even apartments. But the school started cracking down. So as someone who's been focused on helping buyers live in Studio City, Los Angeles for 20 years, Colfax Meadows has always been on the short list, and it carries the highest price tag of any flat neighborhood in Studio City. We're talking 2.5 at the entry point and $7 million plus for the upper end of the prime real estate here. And these are the Studio City home prices that reflect, a combination of the aesthetics, the location, and the school district, a big driver of value in this specific pocket. All right, guys, without further ado, number 1. All right, guys, here it is. Number 1, Fryman Canyon, in a category by itself, right? The Long Ridge of Studio City, but bigger. Everything on this list is a great neighborhood, but Fryman Canyon is an entirely different conversation, right? This is ultra exclusive, nature immersed, luxury that genuinely feels like an upscale mountainous retreat that happens to be 15 minutes from Hollywood, right? The roads here are shaded by mature oak trees that have been here for hundreds of years. And the properties sit behind, serious gates and have serious amounts of land. And when you drive through Fryman, you forget you're in LA, and that's exactly the point. For anyone asking for a good place to live in Studio City at the true luxury end of the market, Fryman is the answer. This is where high-profile executives and talent go when they want total discretion, right? Lot size is large enough for private tennis courts, guest houses. If you want a property where the neighbors can't see in and the cameras can't find you from the street, this is it. That profile and at that level of privacy is what Fryman Canyon delivers, right? The housing stock here is a range of sprawling estate compounds with gated entries, everything from classic East Coast traditionals to massive contemporary architectural statements hidden behind mature hedgerows and trees. These are serious properties on serious land, and several of the most significant architectural icons in the valley sit within this canyon. For anyone who's researching, best neighborhoods in Studio City at the estate level, Fryman's the ceiling. Honest trade-off though, Fryman Canyon is also not walkable. For daily errands, you're not walking to the farmer's market, but for recreational health, this is 10 out of 10 because Williker Park and the famous Fryman Canyon hiking loop are essentially in your extended backyard. If your lifestyle is built around outdoor fitness, privacy, access to nature, while still being a short drive to everything Studio City and the West Side has to offer, Fryman delivers that combination better than anywhere else in this market. Housing prices run anywhere from 3 to 10 million, and as many of you know, George Clooney called Fryman home for many years, and there's even a $32 million listing for sale right now, the former Alex Trebek estate on Fryman Road. This is genuinely rare inventory, guys. It trades at a pace and a premium that reflects the scarcity. Guys, thank you so much for hanging in there. I'm now gonna go over, as promised, my tips for finding the best off-market homes in Studio City. All right, guys, so as promised, right? So you might be looking for a while if you just look on Zillow to find the perfect home. And when you break it down, like your search into small geographical areas, it's hard to find the perfect home for your family. And there's always something. So what are the tips and tricks? So number one, make sure you're working with an aggressive agent who has strong relationships with the agents that works these neighborhoods. Make sure they're writing letters, sending texts, and doing whatever they can to get the beat on property before it hits the market. Believe it or not, there are some realistic sellers out there who value their privacy and they don't want to put their home on the market. So with the right team and the right patience, you can find a great home in the perfect pocket. So which of these 5 neighborhoods fits your vibe? Please drop your comments below. And if you want a curated list of off-market property listings or you want to tour any of these areas with me, contact us today. My info is in the description below. And if you want exclusive access to the Valley's most stunning homes, market updates before anyone else, and the insider development news, subscribe right now. This channel is your edge. And smash that like button if you like this video. And last but not least, I got buyer and seller guides linked below, packed with practical tips and everything you need to know to win in this market. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Sherman Oaks home buyers are starting to see value in Encino and Tarzana. They're getting more land, more square footage, and triple the privacy for the exact same price, sometimes less.